is Nkandla for us. A very good afternoon to you, Ziyanda. We heard Advocate Dalimpofu saying that President Jacob Zuma is probably at home watching the proceedings as they are unfolding. Now, you are outside, Nkandla. What is happening outside of the former president's property right now?
Well, it's a much quieter situation outside his homestead as opposed to what we saw over the weekend, Tammy. We've just seen a few of those MK veterans, just the ones who've been camped here for a couple of months now, really. They've just been here. We've also seen some vehicles from the Durban Public Order Policing, one from the Western Cape. I spotted another one from Mpumalanga. So that's basically been the situation outside the former president's home. But I tell you, in court then, those arguments that have been made by Advocate Dalimpofu, basically, I'd say, split up into a few arguments. The first, of course, related to the main argument about jurisdiction, is that Advocate Dalimpofu was saying that according to Section 172 of the Constitution, this particular court in Pietermaritzburg does have jurisdiction because of the fact that the Constitutional Court empowers it to interdict any matter that may be deemed unconstitutional. And he's saying then that the arrest of the former president, whilst he is still awaiting the outcome of the rescission application and the Constitutional Court, would be unconstitutional because in essence he would be detained without trial, and that you know, once the judgment is handed down 2 or 3 months later, you would have had the former president behind bars. And if the Constitutional Court then comes back then to actually agree with the former president in his rescission application, he even said, oops, oh, sorry, you've been detained. He said, what is that, my lord, when he was speaking to Judge Jerome Mnguni. Another issue that he's raised in relation to jurisdiction, he's actually cited a previous case to say that, you know, the High Court in Pietermaritzburg and the Con Court in this instance, in relation to the stay of the arrest, do have concurrent powers insofar as being able to stay this application. And he was even saying that at the time of the former president filing his rescission application, they did not know that the Constitutional Court would come back to them on Saturday and actually agree to hear their application on the 12th of July, I should say. So Advocate Dalimpofu was saying, responding to Judge Jerome Mnguni, who's presiding over this matter, that this is why then they decided, because of even geographically speaking, that the Pietermaritzburg High Court does have exclusive jurisdiction over this matter. Really, Dalimpofu touching on this particular issue, Tammy, because Judge Jerome Mnguni was asking, at the time of sending through your rescission application, did you try to convince the Constitutional Court to stay the arrest of the former president whilst you make a determination on the rescission application? Dalimpofu was saying that there was no way, or the chances were slim, that the former president would have gone to the Constitutional Court, the very court that has handed down this sentence, which they believe is unconstitutional, would on an urgent basis, given the issues with direct access, urgently have heard this issue of the stay of arrest, which is why then he's saying that this Pietermaritzburg High Court is the correct court to hear this particular matter.
Ziyanda Ngobo, thank you very much for that update.